Welcome to the interview conversation. My name is Sheila Gibbons. An interview can sometimes feel a little bit like a trip to the dentist, an uncomfortable interrogation where neither you nor the interviewer is really anything short of anxious to get it over with. What you really want in an interview is a sense of connection and human warmth. This won't guarantee you the job, of course, but it will guarantee that you spent your time well, that you have more information than you had before the interview. Maybe you've added another person to your network, and it also offers practice in that ever underdeveloped skill called interviewing. Because remember, interviewing is a skill. It's an ability that gets better with practice. My advice, never miss an opportunity to interview. So today I'm going to run through some quick tips on transforming the stilted, uncomfortable interview experience to a conversation. Be prepared. Know what you're going to wear, how you're going to fix your hair. Put your clothing out on your bed the night before. Know where you're going, what time you need to be there. If possible, know the name of the person you're going to be meeting with. How are you going to get there? If you're going by car, make sure you have gas. Know the title of the position for which you're applying. So many people forget about this. And review the job description. Have that information fresh and at your fingertips for the interview. Think about the aim of the interview, not just getting the job, your personal aim for it. Remember, you're spending time, and time is something you cannot get back. How do you want to share that time? Imagine getting that. These are the basics, and they seat you and get you off to a good start. Do research and use it. Go to the company website, of course. Examine the About Us page, the mission. Look for a few facts to memorize just in case they ask you during the interview. Try to get an overall sense of the company and its people, how big they are, what's important to them. Don't stop there though. Go to social media sites like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. What is the company saying there? How are they saying it? Who are they talking to? Who's commenting on their posts? Are they like you? Do you agree with them? Go to sites like Glassdoor, or run a general internet search to look at reviews of the company, their products, any comments on their values, their work, their general reputation. How do you feel about what you found out? Then find the company on LinkedIn and look for people who work there. Check out these employees' LinkedIn profiles. What groups are they in? What are they like? What are their interests? What's their history? What are they saying? Are they like you? Now, really, this research doesn't have to take more than 30 minutes. It just helps you form an overall impression of the company, which then helps you generate questions for the interview that are much more conversational and natural. Take time to break the ice. I know many folks are not fans of small talk, but really just a minute or two of small talk serves as a kind of bridge. It's a brief transition from out of breath, I just got here, to I'm present and ready to go. And it's also essential when it comes to building rapport. It's a big mistake to rush through this because it'll probably catapult the encounter into a rigid Q&A interrogation session, which is not a conversation. This phase of the interaction with the interviewer is the time for the interviewer to see your personality traits and hopefully relate to you. So take advantage of it. Show some attitude. Be optimistic. Put yourself in their shoes. They want you to be the one. Exude confidence, not arrogance, and a commitment to learning as much about them as you can while sharing as much about yourself as possible. And when I say sharing, I don't just mean words. Charisma, charm, emotional intelligence, flexibility, show any and all of these and more. Whatever it is, show it. Showing is always better than telling. Let the interviewer converse. Don't make the interviewer be an investigative journalist. As a general rule, the more the interviewer speaks, the better, so listen. Use this time to pick up on subtleties that they may intentionally or even unintentionally be making. This will almost always be useful later in the conversation. Honestly, listening is kind of a forgotten art form, and it can give you a big edge over the competition. Paint the picture. While it's important to be as professional as possible, unnecessarily elevating the formality of the conversation can be really distracting. And ultimately, it prevents the interviewer from really relating to you and who you are. Sometimes people forget to individualize their answers and give authentic real-world examples when they answer questions. So try to stick as close to those real-world examples as you can. If an interviewer can picture you in the role, they're much more likely to hire you. So paint that picture. Help the interviewer envision you as the person they could be working with. Be thoughtful in your answers. While an interview is for a fixed period of time, it's not a race. It is okay to take the time to answer the tough questions. If a question's out of the ordinary or for some reason seems strange to you in some way, take the necessary time to think about the scenario and to give your best opinion. Also, it's important to explain the thought process here, because sometimes your why is even more telling than your answer. It's also better to say, "I'm not certain, I don't know," than to confidently just blurt out something that's clearly incorrect or not thought out. And finally, some interviewers might ask you a series of really difficult probing questions, and they'll keep asking you until you're just plain unable to answer. Don't worry about that. They're basically trying to find your boundaries, to exhaust your limits, so it's just part of the process. Ask questions throughout the interview. Punctuating the interview with authentic questions to which you really want an answer will engage the interviewer in a conversation, which is what you want. And it'll curb the tendency for the interview to turn into that interrogation, which you don't want. Great ideas and conversations come from listening and asking great questions. So to quote Dale Carnegie, ask questions that the other will enjoy answering. Plant the seed for the future. You should take the opportunity during an interview to discuss hypothetical situations and ask questions from the perspective of working with the interviewer. If the interviewer is subconsciously thinking of what it will be like to work with you 3 months from now, maybe they've already made their decision. So to sum up, the more you look at interviewing as a skill that you can develop by practice, and the more you embrace the idea that bottom line, an interview is a conversation, the more you can really get those two things, the more you'll enjoy the process, and the more you'll enhance areas of your professional development, like building a professional network, like learning organizational systems, like advancing your leadership skills. These are things people spend good money and good time to learn in expensive MBA programs. You don't have to do that. Learn this skill now where you are, and you will reap the rewards. If you play your cards right, an interview can be one of the many best conversations you will ever have. Thank you for watching the interview conversation. My name is Sheila Gibbons. If you've enjoyed this video, please click on the thumbs up below to like it, and then subscribe to our channel to keep up on new offerings from Connecting Communities and Easter Seals, Oregon.